Here we are, day 12 of the World Cup, and it's just as magical as the first. On this episode of Extra Time, we are counting down to Houston's final two matches of the group stage, plus the tournament's biggest storylines thus far. We're getting a thumbs up or a thumbs down from tonight's special guest. Right now, though, we are starting with the stars. CR7 has landed again in Houston for the second time at this World Cup. Huge crowd waiting to see Cristiano Ronaldo and his mates from Portugal arrive at their hotel in the Med Center, and those fans are not disappointed. Ronaldo, Portugal, facing Uzbekistan tomorrow at Reliance Stadium, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia here on Friday. And staying with the stars, Kylian Mbappe with a goal today for France, 13th minute. France and Iraq, though, in a weather delay in Philadelphia, where the rain was coming down. Back to Mbappe, 15th career goal at the World Cup, tied for third all time. But there's a new leader. As the legend of Messi continues, Lionel Messi scoring both goals in Argentina's 2-0 win over Austria in Dallas. He could have had 3 goals but missed a penalty kick in the 8th minute, then bouncing back with goals in the 38th minute and in stoppage time. He now leads this tournament with 5 goals already. Plus, Messi is the new all-time leader with 18, and he doesn't appear to be done. And no surprise, Messi madness extending outside the stadium. Messi's record-breaking performance bringing a massive sea of light blue across downtown Dallas at Clyde Warren Park, which was turned into a little Argentina. And for those who tried to get into the stadium today, tickets were starting at $2,200. And now, it's time to check in on the free FIFA Fan Festival in East Downtown. We see some fans walking around there as we're getting ready for those 2 night matches. Earlier, a U.S. men's legend stopping by that place, Clint Dempsey. Troy Kless speaking with the man from Nacogdoches about the World Cup being in Houston and how he feels about this current American squad.
The Nacogdoches, Texas native Clint Dempsey had a meet and greet with fans here at the Fan Festival and also shared why Houston is standing out as one of the host cities for the World Cup.
How has Houston been in terms of being a host city for the World Cup?
I think it's been awesome. I think it's great for the state of Texas to have 2 host cities in Dallas and Houston. I remember '94 World Cup, being able to go to a game in Dallas. I think it's important for our youth to have that energy and to see it firsthand. I think it inspires people, both our young boys and girls, to go out there and believe and chase their dreams. It makes it more real for them. So hats off to the state of Texas for having 2 great cities that are hosting it.
Do you think the USMNT can win the World Cup? How far can they advance? What do you think about this year's squad?
I'm not going to put a limitation on what they can do, but what I will say, I've been really inspired by their performances. I think they've done a great job of handling the pressure of the expectations of their country on their shoulders. And the way that they're playing now, I mean, I think they can go on a historical run. They've already won the group. Be interesting to see how they approach the last game of the group stage. I know they're going to rest 4 of the players that are on yellow cards, so it's too valuable to risk them. Be interesting to see how they manage trying to keep that momentum going and get a positive result. But look forward to them in the knockout rounds and how they perform. But yeah, they've been playing really good. Oh, I mean, I think there's a few that got them in them, the dog in them. You know, Weston McKinney, he's a Texas boy, so I'm going to show him a little bit of love. I want to say also Pepe, a Texas boy. He didn't make the last World Cup and squad, and he was able to shake that off and bounce back, so I'm proud of him for that. I like the fight that I see in Chris Richards, who's been you know, a big boost for us, getting back to fitness and helping strengthen that back line. So there's quite a few guys out there that got that dog in them, and I look forward to them continue playing well like they've been doing and inspiring our country.
And Clint Dempsey says that he is also a believer in the U.S. men's national team, that they could potentially make a very deep run for the World Cup. In Edo, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
And Troy is not done helping us tonight as Uzbekistan's World Cup dream has arrived in Houston. Troy, speaking to a native about a moment that's capturing the attention of an entire nation. And looky here, it's time for the kickoff. And on day 12, it's a returning all-star who's deep into soccer camp season. It's Rice head soccer coach Brian Lee back on the broadcast. Thanks for returning. I was a little worried that whether you'd come back or not.
Well, I wouldn't miss it. I love a good time.
Nice. Well, this is the best time ever. Speaking of good times, you hyped it up so much. You were talking about it so much. The orange fan walk from Rice University to the stadium. Were you able to be there?
I was out recruiting, but I did catch the film and the social media hits, and it was more than I even expected. That was an unbelievable spectacle. Just incredible.
It was. Speaking of incredible, we just touched on what Argentina and Messi did earlier today. What's your quick thought on what we saw from Argentina?
Unbelievable. Number one from Messi. More goals. What's that, 5 through 2 games?
Yep.
39 years old. These are World Cups. It's an incredible start.
It is, without a doubt. And now, thumbs up or thumbs down? Brian, which way will you lean on these following questions? Thumbs up or thumbs down on the new expanded World Cup field?
Oh boy, I'm going to call that not 1, not 2, but 3 thumbs up. Number 1, to the fans, incredible. You talked about the Orange Legion, the Scottish Tartan Army in Boston, amazing. The host teams, 6 games unbeaten. Canada, great crowds. Mexico, unbelievable fan support. And the U.S., it's the first thing the players talk about after the game. It's been unbelievable. Number 2, the stars showing out. You talked about Messi's 5 goals through 2 games. Haaland scores for Norway. Kane gets 2 for England. Mbappe gets a couple for France. It's been a great start for our star players. And number 3, of course, Cabo Verde, Curacao. Not just vacation destinations. They can compete in the World Cup, and they're definitely in that last 16 teams that got to join the fun.
Let's do our next one now. Thumbs up or thumbs down on your player to watch. You said Jude Bellingham was a player to watch for England, so after his first match, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Well, I appreciate you bringing that back up because it's a big thumbs up. 2-2 at half. England's looked a little nervy. They needed an early goal to start second half. 2 minutes in, exactly what we talked about. The late running into the box, in behind defenses, and a class finish. If he keeps it up, England might be the World Cup favorite.
Interesting. Now, thumbs up or thumbs down? We have seen enough surprises. Have we already seen enough surprises to know this World Cup is wide open?
Here's where, if we're talking winner, there's our first thumbs down.
Okay.
It's been an evenly contested, some really fun, upset-minded games, but France has looked great. England has looked great. Spain rebounded after the loss, or after their first draw. Argentina's looked fantastic. Germany, kind of a little bit out of nowhere, looks really good. It's going to come down again to one of our former champions winning the World Cup.
Listen, you mentioned Spain and you said loss. I think the Spanish, they were looking at that as a loss, right?
Yeah.
And up next, thumbs up or thumbs down on this one, the United States. Thumbs up or thumbs down reaching the quarterfinals.
Before the World Cup started, we may have gone the other direction and said round of 16, but right now 3 things are important. We got 6 points in the bag.
Yep.
Now we can rest key players. Pulisic can sit again in the game that really doesn't mean anything against Turkey. We can sit our 4 yellow card players so they're not suspended for the round of 32. The other important piece is it's all about the bracket. And the bracket is opening up great. If it can keep heading this direction, there's a 60% chance right now we get Bosnia in the round of 32. That's one of the weaker teams in the World Cup. Round of 16, we can avoid any of those superpowers we just mentioned all the way to the quarterfinals if the bracket breaks right.
And finally, thumbs up or thumbs down on this one. And you kind of alluded to it earlier. Thumbs up or thumbs down that a non-traditional power makes the semifinals?
It is thumbs up. traditional power will win the World Cup. We'll see 2 or 3 in the semifinals. However, Mexico, decent path right now, winning the group. They're going to have a tough round of 16 game, but round of 32 and 16 are at the Azteca. Probably the most difficult place in the world to play. USA, already mentioned them. Friendly bracket. We're going to need one quality win to get there in the quarterfinal. We'll likely see one of those world powers to get to our first semifinal. And then lastly, if you ask Germany right now, they sure think Ivory Coast might be able to win. If you ask Holland, they sure think Japan can make the semifinals. And Norway, they're throwing out 2 of the best attacking players in the world. So those 3 teams plus the host nations could really break that party.
And there we have it, thumbs up or thumbs down, and we had a lot of thumbs up on this one. Moving on to the United States, we have the flag here. How would you approach this final group stage match if you were coaching the Americans?
Yeah, it's the World Cup, but this is basically an exhibition game. We're in first, Turkey's dormy in last. It is an exhibition game only. I'd rotate as much of the team as possible, protect our players on yellow cards. Anyone with a slight injury does not play. And maybe we get a boost in team culture and team chemistry by getting other guys on the field.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. So when we're talking about coaching, have you noticed any tactical changes which have really stood out to you, maybe compared to past U.S. national teams?
Oh, it's been brilliant. We're watching a master class so far from Pochettino. During the exhibition warm-ups, we saw a lot of different shapes, different formations, kind of created some complaints even when the results didn't fall our way. But clearly he was just testing the waters. In the past, we've been a very rigid 4-3-3, easy to prepare for, and once the other team had better players, they were going to beat us. This time, the Pentagon in game 1, brilliant. The way he popped out McKinney and popped out Pulisic into outside channels, let them be 1v1, and great positions for them to succeed, and we win handily. Game 2 goes to a 2-striker format. First goal, Bellingham, our lone striker in game 1, gets to a wide channel, beats his man end line, pulls it back. Pepe's pressure in the Australian defender for the own goal. That doesn't happen with one striker. Bellingham can't make that run, and Pepe's not there to pressure the defender into the mistake that leads to the goal. It's just been brilliant so far. And in game 3, we'll see something different that will not matter to the knockout stages.
Yes, impressive stuff all the way around. Now let's focus on England. England scored 4 goals in the opener. Were you more impressed by that attack, or are you concerned that Croatia still found the net twice?
Well, I'm super excited by the attack. It was dynamic. It's everything England is looking for. Bellingham moving off Kane, fast wingers, then they can sub and bring on like for like. Looked fantastic, especially in the second half. The defensive woes, maybe a little credit to Croatia. The game kind of went exactly as you would think. Croatia, great attacking team, weak defending team. So for England, let's see in these next couple games. What does it look like against Ghana? What does it look like against Panama when they can't get out of their own end? They're only left to counter, and can we get the same sort of goals, and can we protect ourselves on the counter?
All right, so you mentioned that. What else do we still need to learn about England before calling it a true title contender?
Yeah, you got to pitch shutouts if you're going to win a tournament. You know, the 2 goals from Croatia, yes, great attacking team, but we've got to be able to run shutout after shutout to advance in a major tournament.
So there you have it, everything World Cup. It's also camp season for you, for all the aspiring soccer players. What's it like for camps and campers at Rice?
Oh, the World Cup years are the best year for a young kid to come to camp, and they are so much fun. The kids roll out, they're in awesome jerseys. They're loving playing over at Rice. We're outdoors in the morning. In the afternoon, we put them in our bubble. They do get some AC. It's a fantastic experience.
And families can still sign up on the Rice Soccer website, I assume?
You can link through the Rice Soccer website, but it's also at owlsoccercamp.com.
Oh, beautiful. There it is. And this guy, love having him in. Brian Lee, head soccer coach, Rice University. Thanks for being on Extra Time again.
Thanks for having me. Love it.
And ahead, more on that U.S. approach to the final match of the group stage. We know what Brian Lee would do, but what's the team now saying today from California? For these guys, 2 matches, 2 wins, 1 guaranteed spot in the knockout round. The big question now for the U.S., as we've talked about, what will this squad do for its next match against Turkey? Jake Garriani diving into that from Irvine, California.
Well, for the first time since 1930, the United States men's national team has won back-to-back games in a World Cup. That is 96 years. And with that historic performance, the United States has themselves in a beautiful position this week, a stress-free week as they get set to take on Turkey for their final group match. So now the conversation goes to rest or rust. How will Mauricio Pochettino handle his star players? How will he handle the guys with the yellow cards? Who will be out there on the pitch versus Turkey? Does he want them sharp or does he want them rested?
Even though, like you said, it has no effect, I mean, it still does because it gives us that confidence to what's coming next, you know?
As players, it's not really role and responsibility to focus about that. You know, we all have trust in the coach and whatever team he plays, you know, I'm sure they'll go out there with the objective to win.
We're ready to step on the field. If it's players who've been playing more, playing less, I think, like I said, this team's capable of putting so many starting lineups and everyone's going to play just as well.
I'm enjoying the stakes, I'm enjoying the pressure, you know, it's what brings out the best in me, so, I'm very excited.
Just because we're through doesn't mean we have to let our foot off the pedal. We have to keep on going with that same confidence, same rhythm, and keep showing each other and the world what this team's made of.
And this American team has a handful of players with yellow cards, guys like Anthony Robinson, Chris Richards, Fuller Balogun, and Tyler Adams. On top of that, you think about Christian Pulisic trying to come back from that injury. All these will be factors for Mauricio Pochettino as he decides what 11 will be out there for Thursday's match against Turkey. In Irvine, California, with the United States men's national team, I'm Jake Garriani.
And we shall see. Now back to our visitors. Uzbekistan again facing Portugal tomorrow here. And while the White Wolves are definitely not favorites to lift a trophy, just getting here is a historic achievement. Troy Kless sitting down with an old friend to find out why this moment means so much to an entire nation.
We go way back to the UCF soccer field turf days.
But before we met at the University of Central Florida in Orlando, Sailor was born in Uzbekistan. He's as old as the country itself. Uzbekistan gained its independence after the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 1990s. And Sailor says playing in their first ever World Cup is one of the country's proudest moments.
A generation of talented players who grew up dreaming about this moment. Defender Abdulkadir Husanov, AK-45, he plays for Manchester City. Eldor Shomurodov, he plays in the Turkish league. He's played for teams like Genoa and Roma in the Italian league. And of course, we have a World Cup winning coach, Fabio Cannavaro.
That's not the only experience Uzbekistan is bringing to one of Houston's World Cup matches.
In Houston, you guys should expect a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of hospitality, because Uzbek people are known for their welcoming nature.
You may catch groups of fans enjoying rice plov together. Uzbekistan not just representing their country, but many in the post-Soviet era.
You'll see folks from Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Russia even supporting, because none of those countries are in the World Cup.
Sailor will be in attendance when Uzbekistan plays Portugal, and he hopes that Houstonians will feel the energy and jump on the Uzbek bandwagon.
Whether it's the fans from Uzbekistan, Central Asia, or Uzbeks living abroad, we'll be there in full force, and we're proud, we're grateful, and we're ready to make history.
Making history against one of the best players and best teams in the world. In Houston, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
Thank you, guys. And looking ahead, Norway entering tonight's match as the underdog against Senegal. But Norway has a player capable of taking over a World Cup match in an instant. And also, this can also change a match. It is a free kick, which guarantees possession for one team. But how does it work, Joe Trahan?
When you hear the whistle and see players lining up over a stationary ball, you're probably looking at a free kick. A free kick is how soccer restarts play after most common fouls. The team that was fouled gets the ball uncontested from the spot of the foul. Team A has the ball, and one of their players is fouled by a Team B player. The referee will blow their whistle to stop play, and then Team A must take a free kick from the spot of the foul to continue play on the field. It's pretty simple and the most common action in the game. That's the free kick.
Back on Extra Time. Won't be long now until Norway, Senegal take the field. Norway's number 27 in the FIFA rankings, coming off a big 4-1 win against Iraq in its opener. Considered the underdogs, though, against the team on the left. Senegal ranks 17th. That squad looking to bounce back after a loss to France 6 days ago. Now, one key player standing in their way is this man from Norway, Erling Haaland, considered to be one of the best strikers in the world. He's only 25, a tower at 6'5". He's fast with a powerful shot. Alicia Lewis telling us why he's considered Norway's greatest player, not just now, but of all time.
Erling Haaland is a player to watch. He's considered the greatest Norwegian soccer player ever. The 25-year-old was born in England, plays for Manchester City, and is representing Norway. He has an impressive 55 international goals coming into the tournament. When he was younger, he also played football, handball, and was a cross-country skier. And get this, he set a world record in his age group for the longest-standing long jump when he was only 5 years old. And one more thing, he's known for sleeping with match balls after scoring hat tricks. He calls them his girlfriends. Interesting.
Yeah, we did not know that when he came to Houston back in 2022. This is practice footage from then. He just joined Manchester City ahead of the Copa de Lone Star game at NRG Stadium. He did not play in that match, however. And rolling on, look who's back. That Mexican Duck now has a new title. It's ahead. A World Cup adventure just reached a whole new level. Merlin the Duck, that feathered fan favorite we've mentioned before, and his owner, touring Mexico's national palace, even meeting President Claudia Pardo. Recently named a FIFA World Cup ambassador, Merlin posing for photos in his signature Mexico jersey. What a ride. What a ride. That's going to do it for us here on Extra Time. Another round of applause for Brian Lee for being here. Plus, we are back again tomorrow on the free KHO U11 streaming app. And now let's take one more look at our fan festival camera. Yeah, when it gets nighttime, that's when we really see some big crowds. So we will be standing by to see what the night brings us at the World Cup. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6:30.